Hello, welcome back to my channel, and I do apologize for the microphone audio quality because the main mic decided to take a break from existing and I had to resort to a headset mic, which actually surprisingly to me sounds pretty bad. I'll need to look into that and perhaps just upgrade. Anyway, that out of the way, Stalker 2, The Heart of Chernobyl, the most anticipated game for 2024, and well, it's been out a couple days, obviously. We're gonna have a look-see. Now, let's talk about the numbers first, because this is actually very interesting. The minimum GPU these guys want you to have is a GTX 1060. And that's meant for graphics preset low resolution full HD. Target FPS 30 frames. You will need at least 16 gigs of dual channel RAM. SSD required, and this was tested with TSR and comparable technologies. So essentially, obviously, 10th gen GPU. Maybe FSR frame gen TSR is available since it's not an RTX card. The recommended GPU, however, is RTX 3070 Ti. And graphics preset is high resolution is 2K or 4040p. Target FPS is 60. You need 32 gigs of dual channel RAM. SSD required, and the above specs were tested with TSR or temperature scaled resolution, DLSS, FSR, and XeSS. Now, for the CPU, and this is where things go a little bit interesting. Minimum CPU is i7-7700K. Too many sevens in a line. So essentially a 7th gen i7, which is fair enough. We're talking about 6 cores, 8 threads, and it's pretty capable CPU, to be fair. One of my previous rigs actually had this as a media PC. And for recommended CPU, they actually want you to have 11th gen i7 or at least a Ryzen 7 5800X. Right, so to be fair, the previous requirements that were leaked prior to the game's release were a little bit higher spec. The minimum GPU was supposed to be 3080 with the essentially recommended CPU being a 13th gen i7 or i9 even. I think it's an i7 for 13th gen. And that's not the case when the game actually released. So let's look at what we're going to be playing around here with. We're going with epic quality all around. Everything is essentially cranked out apart from motion blur strength. No upscaling method. No DLSS frame gen, no FSR frame gen, and everything is on Epic. For display, we're going with 2K native resolution. Field of view is cranked to 110. I would want this to actually go higher, to be fair. It's still very narrow. No vertical sync, no limits for frame rate, no NVIDIA Reflex low latency, and that's as far as it goes. So, let's start the new game, and I already played it about just a little bit, and honestly, I'm kind of happy with what I'm seeing, but I want you guys to see this as well. So, yeah, let's just wait. Now, a couple things that I did notice about this game is the graphics preset and DLSS and frame gen is going to be your best new friends. Even though the game looks pretty decent, it will benefit from a little bit further optimization. A lot of people are saying that they've seen a lot of stutters and frame dips. They have to restart the game to actually get it back on track, which is not surprising considering, again, this is a game reimagined, I would want to say, in Unreal Engine 5 in comparison to the proprietary engine the S.t.a.l.k.e.r used before. So it is how it is. Now, when it comes to skipping cutscenes, and this is kind of funny because I would like to skip majority of the cutscenes, it only just fast forwards them up. You don't just jump into the black screen and start a mission or something, which I find a little bit hilarious. It's kind of like a very quick overlook of what you're missing out on.
Last question, Dr. Dallin. Are you sure the perimeter surrounding the zone is really enough? If a powerful
So even now, technically this is not a pre-rendered cutscene, it's kind of like in-game live cutscene. We're pulling 7.6 gigs of video memory, 16 gigs of RAM, and we're below 60 frames. So let's hurry this up just a little bit until we can start all of this, because there's a lot of dialogue and I don't want to spoil this for anyone who hasn't actually done this. It is a bit odd when you look at it, at least first time, but I must say audio design in this game is on point. Like, even for myself, I'm not gonna touch on the graphical side because Unreal Engine 5 is Unreal Engine 5, nothing really will ever change in that aspect. I've seen some people saying, "Oh my God, it looks so realistic," and I'm just like, "You never played an Unreal Engine game before, but oh well." Right. So here we are. This is the first area we're in, and here's the fun fact. It's not sharp, it's blurry, and everything is terrible. This is, I guess, the one main concern when it comes to Unreal Engine games for myself. We're pulling 7.7 gigs of video memory. GPU is not maxed out, even though we are on epic settings everywhere. We're pulling 16 gigs of RAM and we're sub 60. The more we move around, you can see the frames are literally dropping off down to 35, and the frame time is spiking up to 20, 22, sometimes 18. But that wouldn't even be the issue. Even though Stalker is an FPS title, always has been, the way everything flickers is what literally triggers me, if that's even the word nowadays. Like all this blurriness, and we do not have any DLSS or FSR or TSR enabled, so there's no reason for this to happen, but this is just Unreal Engine doing what it does best, which is shimmering every object's outline into infinity and beyond. So, what do we want to do in this game when it comes to performance? Well, to be fair, nothing. So as you can see, this is gonna be your life if you're playing on 2K Epic, roughly, and this is even with an i9 99K and 4070 Ti, so you're gonna be sub 60. What I think you should be doing is going over the graphics, scrolling all the way down, and honestly, you need frame gen. Like that's it. Like you just need frame gen. You don't even need to enable DLSS. You don't even need anything else. You just need frame gen. Enable the frame gen, come out, and just enjoy. Uplift to 90 FPS. Now the reason I'm talking about frame gen is because enabling DLSS by itself doesn't actually give you that much of an uplift. The only difference that will happen if you enable DLSS, all this smudgy, flickery stuff is gonna go away. Let me show you. And I think this is why people are kind of concerned in regards to the performance of the game and everything else. Because I can totally understand them. Like, I would expect game on Epic to look absolutely fantastic. And now it looks fantastic. Look, all the shimmering, all the outlines are gone. Now the game actually looks good. Now it looks like your everyday run-of-the-mill Unreal Engine 5. And I'm gonna die on this hill because I have not seen a better looking Unreal Engine 5 game in comparison to any other Unreal Engine 5 game. Like, it's just not how it works. And when it comes to the frames, look at the frame time. We're suddenly in 8 to 10 millisecond range. GPU usage is exactly as every other Unreal Engine game I ever launched on my system, 87-90%. CPU is hauling its load, we're pulling 16 gigs of RAM, and we're above 60 frames. And this is where you kind of want to be. Now, a couple things to note. You can actually Google S.t.a.l.k.e.r FPS fix. There's a community on Steam that will actually tell you how to obtain a mod that will force the game to always launch using DirectX 12 API, and it will change a little bit of some settings behind the scenes that will actually reduce the shader preload time and will actually improve overall game's quality. Now, if you're sitting on anything below RTX level, which is 1060, 70, 80, you might need to tweak some of the TSR or FSR settings, but it is still possible to do because in reality, every single game that comes out with Unreal Engine 5 will run like this. Like, there's no other way to say this. Like, and this is what I'm really concerned about when it comes to Unreal Engine 5. It is very taxing. Like, it just is very taxing. So, of course, we could use the radial wheel. I'm kind of happy that it exists there. Kind of gives you a little bit of Far Cry vibe, but whatever. Obviously the audio is all turned down just for recording purposes, but in-game audio is fantastic. If you're gonna play it on headphones, you're literally gonna be looking behind your shoulder, trying to figure out if that's a cockroach or if that's something else trying to sneak up on you and kind of, you know, take you down to the zone.
They're en route, but we lost contact. Falcon 3, investigate the scientist's bunker.
This guy's gonna get cooked by the anomaly. Yep. Knew it. Actually, we can just take this instantly. Now we're not dropping. Picked in. Loot. Take all. Alright, my question is where's my bolts? Ain't got no bolts on me. Okay, that's not good. How do I get by the anomaly though? I'm gonna just quickly take everything and run because anomaly will come back. And that's not exactly what we want. I'm more afraid of anomaly than I'm afraid of actual enemies because anomaly will cook you pretty much instantly, and that's always been the case in STALKER. Humans you can shoot, mutants you can deal with. You will have grenades and everything else in your disposal, but the anomaly and the angles it usually comes to get you is just something fucking else. You see this? It's just the way it is. Okay, let's run away. But yeah, even now, and this is again, the game runs good enough for me not to notice the little tiny stutters, but it's still not where I want it to be. And obviously you could argue that, oh, but you know, in comparison to everything out there, you're still using DLSS and FrameGen. I am and I will, because let's be real, like if that's the case for myself,
Avoid going in. I'll contact the sphere.
and I'll just drop it, there's no point of me holding multiple guns. Yeah, there's the thing, if you unload the gun, you keep all the ammo from the gun and you can drop the actual gun so you don't have 6 guns on you with the 6 full mags. I think Tarkov players will kinda appreciate this a little bit. But yeah, just remember how it is. And there's a big boy coming to us already. Okay, let's dance, big fella. I mean, the fact itself, it spotted me from all the way down there is a little bit funny, but oh well. You know, it is how it is. Also, I should have actually read the sign. What does it say? Oh, it's just radiation. Bruh. The more damage you're taking. Yeah, we do have some anti-rads, I think. I believe. And actually, I should be looting and going through every single nook and cranny here. I'm just being a dum-dum and not doing it, in all honesty. What's with the map? Where are we? I should have actually looted all these houses here, but you know, I can always do it later on. Let's get on a road and hope we're not gonna find something. There's not too much radiation around, so I'm not too worried about it. Hello? Okay. Vodka, that is good. We have some bandages. Run-of-the-mill stalker, to be safe. You know, like, this is... And the mutant just yeeted the poor guy. Okay, fair enough. Not even surprised about it. Not even in a long shot. Let's take everything. Yeah, we're good. Right. I mean, yeah, like, this is, I think, the main point I'm trying to drive home. Like, you need DLSS and preferably frame gen for this to actually kind of make sense to yourself. Because without it, the performance is like 55, 56. And this is just how it is for Unreal Engine games. As I said, I know that a lot of people will say that I'm wrong, but look at the frame time spikes instantly when we just disabled all of these things. NVIDIA Reflex Booster might actually help a little bit. I would assume so.
Reach the bunker. Find Dr. Ngoda. He's agreed to give you the coordinates.
I don't think it'll be that easy, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, 45 frames is not where you want to be in this game. I can guarantee you that. And with these settings, even on Epic, everything just looks terrible. Yeah, no. I cannot in good conscience tell you that this is gonna be good. It's definitely not. Grab anything that floats your boat and honestly just enjoy it. Way better. I hope you can actually see this from the recording side of you, because I do like good graphics, and I really hate when there is no point in between epic and medium or high. Because yeah, on epic to see the jagged edges and everything shimmering, that's not my cup of tea. So yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to show you guys in regards how it runs with i9-99K and 4070 Ti. And I must say it runs pretty well. So there will be official patch coming relatively soon, at least that's the rumor I've heard. And yeah, once it arrives, we're gonna take it for another spin, and I hope I will get a better mic, because the headset mic is just not cutting it, let's be real here. So yeah, anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Over and out.